on this episode of American Travelers. Coming up, we visit Bobby's Idle Hour Tavern, where some well-known musicians would hang out during their recording sessions. Then it's off to the Ryman Auditorium and the Grand Ole Opry. In Nashville's Music Row, there's Bobby's Idle Hour Tavern, where a lot of country stars hang out. Today we see an up-and-coming artist, Daniel Niehoff.
Sold my soul to the company store before I found out what I was working for. 'Cause what they paid me wasn't worth a dime, and just staying alive feels like hard times. I guess they thought it wouldn't do much harm if a few mountain folks lost their farms. So they packed up and left us high and dry. Even the mountain had tears in its eyes. And that's how the Smoky Mountains got their name. That haze has been hanging around here for an age. So when you see that misty top, you'll know why. 'Cause what you're seeing is the Appalachians cry. They turned our mountain into mud, with tears and sweat and miners' blood. They worked that mountain till it died, poisoned our land with all their lies. But when they found a cheaper way, they blew that mountain top away. Smoke rose up from the blast, and to this day that smoke still lasts. And that's how the Smoky Mountains got their name. That haze has been hanging around here for an age. So when you see that misty top, you'll know why. 'Cause what you're seeing is the Appalachians cry. Our union finally made a plan. We'd meet that company gun in hand. We'd make those bastards understand. And the smoke from that day stained our land. And that's how the Smoky Mountains got their name. The haze has been hanging around here for an age. So when you see that misty top, you'll know why. 'Cause what you're seeing is the Appalachians cry.
That's all, folks.
Coming up, we visit the Ryman Auditorium, the Grand Ole Opry, Printer's Alley, and the Bavarian Beer House. We really appreciate you. Please subscribe, give us a like, and leave a comment. We'll get right back with you. Nashville is known as the bachelorette capital of the world. You will see party buses like these on Broadway Street downtown and even on these back roads.
We're going to head right now to the Ryman Auditorium and take a tour. This is where the Grand Ole Opry used to be, and it's moved out of town now, but this is the famous Ryman Theater. You're going to love it.
Loretta, I love you. Ryman Theater, here we are, Grand Ole Opry.
Back in the day, the Ryman Auditorium was the home of the Grand Ole Opry from 1943 to 1974. The Ryman Auditorium was built in the late 1800s by Thomas Ryman. He was a Nashville businessman who owned several saloons and a fleet of riverboats. It was first called the Union Gospel Tabernacle. Hank Williams, Elvis, and Johnny Cash all performed on the Ryman stage. Today the legend continues as we are here to see a concert tonight. When they built the Ryman Auditorium, they did a good job with acoustics, so the sound is great in any seat. On our way to see our show at the Grand Ole Opry House, we stopped by the Bavarian Beer House for dinner and a German beer. The Bavarian Beer House is located in the Opry Mills Shopping Center, which is in walking distance of the Grand Ole Opry House. You could order traditional German food, which, by the way, was very good. We had a great seat and got there in time to see an authentic German band.
We are at the Grand Ole Opry, and I can't wait to get in there and listen to some great music.
Due to the size of the growing crowd, the Grand Ole Opry moved out of downtown Nashville to the Pennington area of Nashville. In 1972, the Opryland theme park and Opryland Hotel opened. 2 years later, the 4,000-seat Grand Ole Opry House was opened. On opening night at the Grand Ole Opry, Richard Nixon played piano on a few songs. Other performers were Hank Snow, Stonewall Jackson, and Jenny Seeley. The Grand Ole Opry is broadcast live on WSM AM at 7 p.m. Central Time on Saturday nights. In the early 1900s, Printers Alley was home to a thriving publishing industry. There were 2 major newspapers, 10 print shops, and 13 publishing companies. When Printers Alley became a nightclub district, the sale of liquor in the clubs was illegal. They served the liquor anyway and claimed it had been brought in by customers. This was known as brown bagging. Law enforcement normally looked the other way. One famous Printers Alley club was Jimmy Hyde's Carousel Club, where jazz musicians would jam after hours. Chet Atkins, Boot Randolph, and Bob Moore were some of the regulars. Today, we're heading to Jacksonville, to the historic town of Jacksonville, Oregon.
We arrive in Jacksonville through these beautiful tree-lined streets that continue to the downtown area. Our first stop is at the Jacksonville City Hall, where we happen to be greeted by the city mayor.
My name is Donna Bowen. I'm happy to welcome you to the city of Jacksonville, Oregon. I'm the mayor, a job I very much enjoy. Jacksonville started out as a gold rush town. Gold was discovered here in the 1850s, so it brought a lot of people into town. There wasn't a lot of gold here, so what happened was the people who came here for gold quickly developed into businessmen, for instance, a hardware store, a photographer. Some of them became farmers. Our growing conditions are almost Mediterranean-like except for the snow that we have in winter, but our soil is so beneficial to growing grapevines, and all of the varieties we have here, Syrah, Cabernet, white wines, just have that extra something. They're award-winning, so that's attracted new people here, and it's been so beneficial to this valley because we all eat well and drink well here.
After our visit with the mayor, we searched out a place for lunch, and La Fiesta was highly recommended. Carrie is dancing a little jig. Well, here it is, and that looks delicious. With Mexican food, you either got to have a margarita or a beer.
Next on our journey is a ride on the Jacksonville Trolley.
Good morning, folks. I'm Brian Roberts, and I'll be your tour guide today on the Jacksonville Trolley. Jacksonville came to be with the discovery of gold here in 1851 on Daisy Creek. To the north of us, there's a couple flat mesas known as Table Rock Mountain, and they originally named the town after those 2 flat mesas, later changing it to Jacksonville in honor of President Jackson. Now, the company that ran a little red train between Jacksonville and Medford, known as the Rogue River Valley Railroad Company, for 25 cents, you could have caught the train right here.
Thanks for watching American Travelers. We really appreciate you. Please subscribe, give us a like, and leave a comment. We'll get right back with you. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.